welcome to my channel. I'm Idress. Today we're gonna discuss here past tense and its type, right? And earlier we have discussed the present tense and its four types, so that here you will find the I button, and after clicking the I button you will uh, directly go to the previous video where I have discussed the present tense and its four types, right? In the past tense, we have here first type of past tense is past indefinite tense. Second is past continuous tense. Third is past perfect tense. Fourth is past perfect continuous tense. In each tense, we're going to discuss here the four type of sentences. First is simple sentence, second is interrogative sentence, third is negative sentence, fourth is interrogative and negative sentence. Before this, I will take to the screen where you will see all the illustration, all the detail of every tense. Before this, I will take you there. I request you to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friend, to your relative who is interested in learning the English. Kinds of past tense. Past tense. There are four kinds of past tense. Past indefinite tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. गुजरा हुआ जमाना, इसकी चार किस्में हैं। गुजरा हुआ गैर यकीनी जमाना, गुजरा हुआ जारी जमाना, गुजरा हुआ मुकम्मल जमाना, गुजरा हुआ मुकम्मल जारी जमाना। Past indefinite, it's a kind of past tense. This is the first kind of past tense. So here we're gonna study the symbol of past tense in English and in Urdu, then the past tense sentences. So let's start with the symbol of past indefinite tense. Symbol, subject plus second form of verb. The example of the first sentences of past indefinite tense are given as an order, and the first sentence of the past indefinite tense, we have here the example of that sentences, that is simple sentences. So we have here many illustrations of the simple sentences. Let's start. I went to Jammu to see the university. We abused him on his mistake. You dug on the ground for a whole day. He arrived at evening there at 8 p.m. She abode at Srinagar. Nadia told me a story. It asked a question. They arose the prices of the apple. Here we have in Urdu, गुजरा हुआ गैर यकीनी जमाना। उर्दू में निशानी जिस जुमले के आखिर में या हो, ये हो, ये हो, तो समझ लेना चाहिए ये गुजरा हुआ गैर यकीनी जमाना है। और इसमें हम आसान जुमले पढ़ेंगे। मैं जम्मू यूनिवर्सिटी देखने के लिए गया। हमने इसकी गलती पर उसे गाली दी। आपने सारा दिन जमीन पर खोदा। वो रात 8 बजे वहां पहुंचा। वो श्रीनगर में कयाम पजीर थी। नाहिदा ने मुझे एक कहानी सुनाई। उसने एक सवाल पूछा। उन्होंने सेब की कीमतों में इजाफा किया। उन्होंने सेब की कीमतों में इजाफा किया। Once again we will start here the practice, first in Urdu then in English. मैं जम्मू यूनिवर्सिटी देखने के लिए गया। I went to Jammu to see the university. हमने उसकी गलती पर उसे गाली दी। We abused him on his mistake. आपने सारा दिन जमीन पर खोदा। You dug on the ground for a whole day. वो रात 8 बजे वहां पहुंचा। He arrived at evening there at 8 p.m. नाहिदा ने मुझे एक कहानी सुनाई. नाहिदा told me a story. उसने एक सवाल पूछा. It asked a question. उन्होंने सेब की कीमतों में इजाफा किया. They aroused the prices of the apple. Interrogative sentences. Did is used before the subject in the past indefinite tense to make the interrogative sentences. Note here, the first form of verb is used because the second form of verb isn't used in a sentence. Interrogative sentence में past indefinite के did इस्तेमाल होता है और फिर subject और उसके बाद first form of verb लगती है, क्योंकि हम एक ही सेंटेंस में दो सेकंड फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब नहीं लगा सकते हैं. ये एक इंग्लिश का रूल है. लेट्स बिगिन द इलस्ट्रेशन और द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ पास्ट इंडेफिनिट टेंस. पास्ट इंडेफिनिट tenses, interrogative sentences, illustrations. So let's begin here. I need your help for the day. Did we notice his activity? Did you obey your friend? Did he object you to come here? Did she obtain the good position? Did Parvina obey her parent? Did it occupy the space? Did they offend you? सवालिया जुमले. क्या मुझे दिन के लिए आपकी मदद की जरूरत थी? क्या हमने उसकी सरगर्मी को देखा? क्या आपने अपने दोस्त की बात मानी? क्या उसने आपको वहां आने पर एतराज किया? क्या उसने अच्छी पोजीशन हासिल की? क्या परवीना ने अपने वालिदैन की बात मानी? क्या उसने जगह पर कब्जा किया? क्या उन्होंने आपको नाराज किया? So let's make the practice once again here, first in Urdu and then in English. क्या मुझे दिन के लिए आपकी मदद की जरूरत थी? Did I need your help for the day? क्या हमने उसकी सरगर्मी को देखा? Did we notice his activity? क्या आपने अपने दोस्त की बात मानी? Did you obey your friend? क्या उसने आपको वहां आने पर एतराज किया? Did he object you to come here? क्या उसने अच्छी पोजीशन हासिल की? Did she obtain the good position? क्या परवीना ने अपने वालिदैन की बात मानी? Did Parvina obey her parent? क्या उसने जगह पर कब्जा किया? Did it occupy the space? क्या उन्होंने आपको नाराज किया? Did they offend you? Past indefinite tense. Here we're going to discuss negative sentences. Didn't is used after the subject in the past indefinite tense to make the negative sentences. Negative sentence बनाने के लिए यहाँ subject के बाद didn't का इस्तेमाल होता है past indefinite tense में negative sentence बनाने के लिए. I didn't ameliorate my own performance. We didn't drink water in the hotels. You didn't drive the car. He didn't eat food at 9 p.m. She didn't fall from the tree. It didn't feel like a fish. They didn't fight in the way. मनफी जुमले. मैंने अपनी कारकर्दगी को खुशगवार नहीं बनाया. हमने बोतों में पानी नहीं पिया. आपने कार को नहीं खींचा. उसने रात को 9 बजे खाना खाया. वो दरख्त से नहीं गिरी. उसने मछली की तरह नहीं महसूस किया. वो रास्ते में नहीं लड़े. Once again we're gonna make practice here, first in Urdu and then in English. मैंने अपनी कारकर्दगी को खुशगवार नहीं बनाया. I didn't ameliorate my own performance. हमने बोतलों में पानी नहीं पिया. We didn't drink water in the bottle. उसने रात को 9 बजे खाना नहीं खाया. He didn't eat food at 9 p.m. वो दरख्त से नहीं गिरी. She didn't fall from the tree. उसने मछली की तरह महसूस नहीं किया या उसने मछली की तरह नहीं महसूस किया. It didn't feel like a fish. वो रास्ते में नहीं लड़े. They didn't fight in the way. In the past indefinite tense, this is the last sentences or these are the last sentences, sorry. We're gonna discuss here interrogative and negative sentences. Did is used before the subject and not is used after the subject in the past indefinite tense to make interrogative sentences. Did जो है subject से पहले और not subject के बाद past indefinite tense में interrogative sentence बनाने के लिए इस्तेमाल होते हैं. We have illustration here. Did I not pack the bread? Did we not pay you on your good result? Did you not pick the pen? Did he not pitch the hair? Did she not pay the money? Did Rehana not eat food? Did it not blow in the field? Did they not pray for me? सवालिया जुमले. क्या मैंने रोटी पैक नहीं की? क्या हमने आपको अच्छे नताइज पर नहीं थपथपाया? क्या आपने कलम नहीं उठाई? क्या उसने बालों पर पेच नहीं लगाया? क्या उसने रकम अदा नहीं की? क्या रहना ने खाना नहीं खाया? क्या उसने खेत में हल नहीं चलाया? क्या उन्होंने मेरे लिए दुआ नहीं की? So let's make the practice once again, first in Urdu then in English. क्या मैंने रोटी पैक नहीं की? Did I not pack the bread? क्या हमने आपको अच्छे नताइज पर नहीं थपथपाया? Did we not pat you on your good result? क्या आपने कलम नहीं उठाया? Did you not pick the pen? क्या उसने बालों पर पिच नहीं लगाया? Did he not pitch the hair? क्या उसने रकम अदा नहीं की? Did she not pay the money? क्या रहना ने खाना नहीं खाया? Did रहना not eat food? क्या उसने खेत में हल नहीं चलाया? Did it not plow in the field? क्या उन्होंने मेरे लिए दुआ नहीं की? Did they not pray for me? Past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is the second kind of tense in the past. So that we're gonna discuss here past continuous tense symbol and the symbol in English and the symbol in Urdu and the illustration of the simple sentences here. So let's start with the symbol of past continuous tense. Symbol subject plus helping verb. Here we're gonna use helping verb was verb plus first form of verb plus ing. We, you, they. With them we use verb he, she, it. With these pronoun we have to use was. I, he, she, it. We have to use with these subject was and we, you, they. We have to use with these pronoun or subjects verb. Simple sentences. I was evaluating my own performance. We were drinking water in the bottles. You were driving the car. He was eating food at 9 p.m. She was falling from the tree. It wasn't feeling like a fish. They were parting in the way. गुजरा हुआ जमाना, गुजरा हुआ जारी जमाना. उर्दू में निशानी जिस जुमले के आखिर में रहा था, रही थी, रहे थे तो समझ लेना चाहिए कि गुजरा हुआ जारी जमाना है. आसान जुमले. मैं अपनी कारकर्दगी को खुशगवार बना रहा था. हम बोतलों में पानी पी रहे थे. आप कार चला रहे थे. वो रात 9 बजे खाना खा रहा था. वो दरख्त से गिर रही थी. ये मछली की तरह महसूस कर रहा था. वो रास्ते में लड़ रहे थे. We're gonna make practice once again, first in Urdu, then in English. मैं अपनी कारकर्दगी को खुशगवार बना रहा था. I was evaluating my own performance. हम बोतलों में पानी पी रहे थे. We were drinking water in the bottles. आप कार चला रहे थे. You were driving the car. वो रात 9 बजे खाना खा रहा था. He was eating food at 9 p.m. वो दरख्त से गिर रही थी. She was falling from the tree. ये मछली की तरह महसूस कर रहा था. It was feeling like a fish. वो रास्ते में लड़ रहे थे. They were fighting in the way. We're gonna here discuss past continuous tenses. Next sentence, that is interrogative sentence. So in the interrogative sentences, we have so many illustrations. But before this, we have to uh, describe that how can you make the past continuous tenses interrogative sentences. So was and were is used before the subject in the past continuous tense to make the interrogative sentences. Was और were जो है subject से पहले लगता है और इस तरीके से हम past continuous tense में interrogative sentences बना सकते हैं. Let's have the illustrations of interrogative sentences. Was I forgetting that truth? Were we going to the market? Were you getting the chance? Was he giving the food? Was she growing her body? Was it hiding the truth? Were they holding bags? सवालिया जुमले. क्या मैं इस हकीकत को भूल रहा था? क्या हम बाजार जा रहे थे? क्या आपको मौका मिल रहा था? क्या वो खाना दे रहा था? क्या वो अपना जिस्म बढ़ा रही थी? क्या ये सच को छुपा रहा था? क्या वो बैग थाम रहे थे? We're gonna make practice first in Urdu, then in English once again. क्या मैं इस हकीकत को भूल रहा था? Was I forgetting that truth? क्या हम बाजार जा रहे थे? Were we going to the market? क्या आपको मौका मिल रहा था? Were you getting the chance? क्या वो खाना दे रहा था? Were he giving the food? क्या वो अपना जिस्म बढ़ा रही थी? Was she growing her body? क्या ये सच को छुपा रहा था? Was it holding the truth? क्या वो बैग थाम रहे थे? Were they holding the bag? In the past continuous tense, we're gonna study the next sentences, that is negative sentences. Not is used after was and were in the past continuous tense to make the negative sentences. I was not inviting you. We weren't knowing about him. You weren't keeping the medicine away. He wasn't lying on the ground. She wasn't leading us. They weren't lying to me. मनफी जुमले. मैं आपको दावत नहीं दे रहा था. हम उसके बारे में नहीं जान रहे थे. आप दवाई को दूर नहीं कर रहे थे. वो जमीन पर नहीं सो रहा था. वो हमारी रहनुमाई नहीं कर रही थी. वो मुझसे झूठ नहीं बोल रहे थे. So we're gonna make practice first in Urdu then in English. मैं आपको दावत नहीं दे रहा था. I was not inviting you. हम इसके बारे में नहीं जान रहे थे. We weren't knowing about him. आप दवाई को दूर नहीं कर रहे थे. You weren't keeping the medicine away. वो जमीन पर नहीं सो रहा था. He wasn't lying on the ground. वो हमारी रहनुमाई नहीं कर रही थी. She wasn't leading us. वो मुझसे झूठ नहीं बोल रहे थे. They weren't lying to me. Past continuous tenses. Next sentence is interrogative and negative sentences. So we're gonna here study the illustration of interrogative and negative sentences. Were and was and were is used before the subject and nor is used after the subject in the past continuous tense to make the interrogative and negative sentences. Right? So that here we have um, illustrations. Was I not losing the temperament? Were we not loving her? Were you not making the bread? Were he not marrying me? Was she not was he not marrying me? Was he not taking your name? Was it not pouring you? Were they not placing you? Now in Urdu, सवालिया और मनफी जुमले. क्या मैं मिजाज नहीं खो रहा था? क्या हम उसे प्यार नहीं कर रहे थे? क्या आप रोटी नहीं बना रहे थे? क्या वो मुझसे नहीं मिल रहा था? क्या वो आपका नाम नहीं ले रही थी? क्या वो आपका नाम नहीं ले रही थी? क्या ये आपको बदबू नहीं दे रहा था? क्या वो आपको नहीं रख रहे थे? We're gonna make practice once again, first in Urdu, then in English. क्या मैं मिजाज नहीं खो रहा था? Was I not losing the temperament? क्या हम उसे प्यार नहीं कर रहे थे? Were we not loving her? क्या आप रोटी नहीं बना रहे थे? Were you not making the bread? क्या वो मुझसे नहीं मिल रहा था? Were he not? क्या वो आपका नाम नहीं ले रही थी? Was he not taking your name? क्या ये आपको बदबू नहीं दे रहा था? Were it not owing you? क्या वो आपको नहीं रख रहे थे? Were they not placing you? We're gonna study the third tense of past tense, that is past perfect tense. This is the third kind of past tense. So in the past tense, we're gonna discuss here the symbol of past tense. First, symbol, subject plus had plus third form of verb. We have here illustration of simple sentences. Let's begin. I have ridden on the horse. We have risen the bottom. You had run the race. He had read the novel. She had rung the bell. It had seen that cow. They had shown their name note. गुजरा हुआ मुकम्मल ज़माना. उर्दू में निशानी जिस जुमले के आखिर में चुका था, चुकी थी, चुके थे, हूँ तो समझ लेना चाहिए ये गुजरा हुआ मुकम्मल ज़माना है. आसान जुमले. मैं घोड़े पर सवार हो चुका था. हम पानी चढ़ा चुके थे. आप दौड़ चुके थे. वो नावल पढ़ चुका था. वो घंटी बजा चुकी थी. ये इस गाय को देख चुका था. या ये उस गाय को देख चुका था. वो अब अपने नाम रोशन कर चुके थे. We're gonna make practice once again, first in Urdu, then in English. मैं घोड़े पर सवार हो चुका था. I had ridden on the horse. हम पानी चढ़ा चुके थे. We had risen the water. आप दौड़ चुके थे. You had run the race. वो नावल पढ़ चुका था. He had read the novel. वो घंटी बजा चुकी थी. He had rung the bell. ये इस गाय को देख चुका था. It had seen that cow. वो अपने नाम रोशन कर चुके थे. They had shown their name now. Here we're gonna discuss the next sentence of past perfect tense, that is interrogative. So in the interrogative sentences, had is used before the subjective and the past perfect tense to uh, make the interrogative sentences. Interrogative जुमले बनाने के लिए हम had का इस्तेमाल subject से पहले past perfect tense में करते हैं. We have here the illustration of interrogative sentences. Let's start now. Had I shown that trick? Had we rung that song? Sorry, had we sung that song? Had you spoken Urdu? Had she sat on that chair? Had she stood in the bus? Had it stolen the pen? Had they sent the message? सवालिया जुमले। क्या मैं वो चालाकी दिखा चुका था? क्या हम वो गाना गा चुके थे? क्या आप उर्दू नावल बोल चुके थे? क्या आप उर्दू बोल चुके थे? सॉरी, क्या आप उर्दू बोल चुके थे? क्या वो उस कुर्सी पर बैठ चुका था? क्या वो बस में खड़ी रह चुकी थी? क्या ये कलम चोरी कर चुकी थी? क्या वो मैसेज भेज चुके थे? So we're gonna here make the practice first in Urdu then in English once again. क्या मैं वो चालाकी दिखा चुका था? Had I shown that trick? क्या हम वो गाना गा चुके थे? Had we sung that song? Had we sung that song? क्या आप उर्दू बोल चुके थे? Had you spoken Urdu? क्या वो उस कुर्सी पर बैठ चुका था? Had he sat on that chair? क्या वो बस में खड़ी रह चुकी थी? Had she stood in the bus? क्या ये कलम चोरी कर चुकी थी? Had it stolen the pen? क्या वो मैसेज भेज चुके थे? Had they sent the message? Past perfect tense. Here we're gonna study the next sentence, that is negative. In the negative sentences, not is used after the had in the past perfect tense to act negative sentences. Negative sentence बनाने के लिए had के बाद not का इस्तेमाल होता है. I hadn't shut the door. We hadn't slept at night. You hadn't smelled the flower. He hadn't sold vegetable. She hadn't said a word. It hadn't stopped me yet. They hadn't took the money. मनफी जुमले. मैं दरवाजा बंद नहीं कर चुका था. हम रात सो नहीं चुके थे. आप फूल को नहीं सूंघ चुके थे. वो सब्जी फरोख्त नहीं कर चुका था. वो एक लफ्ज नहीं कह चुकी थी. ये मुझे अभी तक नहीं रोक चुका था. वो रकम नहीं ले चुके थे. So we're gonna make practice once again, first in Urdu then in English. मैं दरवाजा बंद नहीं कर चुका था. I hadn't shut the door. हम रात सो नहीं चुके थे. We hadn't slept at night. आप फूल को नहीं सूंघ चुके थे. You hadn't smelled the flower. वो सब्जी फरोख्त नहीं कर चुका था. He hadn't sold the vegetable. वो एक लफ्ज नहीं कह चुकी थी. She hadn't said a word. ये मुझे अभी तक नहीं रोक चुका था. It hadn't stopped me yet. वो रकम नहीं ले चुके थे. They hadn't took the money. Past perfect tenses. Next sentences we're gonna discuss here. Interrogative and negative sentences. Had is used before the subject and are is used after the subject in the past perfect tense to make the interrogative and negative sentences. Had I not thrown the stone? Had we not told the truth? Had you not thought about it? Had he not taught English? Had she not talked to him? Had it not understood the truth? Had they not won about it? Now in Urdu, सवालिया और नफी जुमले. क्या मैं पत्थर नहीं फेंक चुका था? क्या हम सच नहीं बता चुके थे? क्या आप इसके बारे में नहीं सोच चुके थे? क्या वो अंग्रेजी नहीं सिखा चुका था? क्या वो उससे बात नहीं कर चुकी थी? क्या ये हकीकत को नहीं समझा चुका था? क्या वो उसके बारे में नहीं आगाह कर चुके थे? Let's make the practice once again, first in Urdu then in English. क्या मैं पत्थर नहीं फेंक चुका था? Had I not thrown the stone? क्या हम सच नहीं बता चुके थे? Had we not told the truth? क्या आप इसके बारे में नहीं सोच चुके थे? Had you not thought about it? क्या वो अंग्रेजी नहीं सिखा चुका था? Had he not taught the English? क्या वो उससे बात नहीं कर चुकी थी? Had she not talked to him? क्या ये हकीकत को नहीं समझा चुका था? Had it not understood the truth? क्या वो इसके बारे में आगाह नहीं कर चुके थे? Had they not known about it? This is the last tense of past tense, past perfect continuous tense. Here we're gonna study the past perfect continuous tense. Symbol subject plus had been plus first form of verb plus ing plus period of time which is used there. And for the period of time we're gonna use the for, or we use for. Part of time we use since. So that here we have simple sentences. Let's begin the illustration of the simple sentences in the past perfect continuous tense. So simple sentences here. I have been winning the match since 2001. We had been writing the letter for 4 days. You had been weeping since morning. He had been working for 3 days. She had been walking since morning. It had been hurting me for 4 days. They had been knitting sweaters since 1980. गुजरा हुआ मुकम्मल जारी ज़माना उर्दू में निशानी जिस जुमले के आखिर में रहा था, रही थी, रहे थे और वक़्त का भी जिक्र हो तो समझ लेना चाहिए ये गुजरा हुआ मुकम्मल जारी ज़माना है। आसान जुमले। मैं 2001 से मैच जीत रहा था। हम 4 दिन से खत लिख रहे थे। आप सुबह ही से रो रहे थे। वो 3 दिन से काम कर रहा था। वो सुबह ही से चल रही थी। वो 4 दिन से मुझे तकलीफ दे रहा था। वो 1980 से स्वेटर बुन रहे थे। So let's have the practice once again, first in Urdu, then in English. मैं 2001 से मैच जीत रहा था। I have been winning the match since 2001. हम 4 दिन से खत लिख रहे थे। We had been writing the letter for 4 days. आप सुबह ही से रो रहे थे। You had been weeping since morning. वो 3 दिन से काम कर रहा था। He had been walking for 3 days. वो सुबह ही से चल रही थी। She had been walking since morning. ये 4 दिन से मुझे तकलीफ दे रहा था। It had been hurting me for 4 days. वो 1980 से स्वेटर बुन रहे थे। They had been knitting the sweater since 1980. Past perfect tense. Here we're gonna study the second sentence of past perfect continuous tense. That is interrogative sentences. So had is used before the subject in the past perfect continuous tense to make the interrogative sentence. यहाँ पे had पहले इस्तेमाल होता है subject से past perfect tense में, past perfect continuous tense में interrogative sentence बनाने के लिए. Let's have the illustrations here. Had I been awaking since morning? Had we been bearing you for 2 days? Had he been becoming a friend since 1960? Had he been patting the Arvin for 2 days? Had she been beginning his life since last week? Has it been breaking the eggs for 2 days? Had they been bringing a glass of water since evening? सवालिया जुमले। क्या मैं सुबह से जाग रहा था? क्या हम आपको 2 दिन से मार रहे थे? क्या आप 1960 से दोस्त बन रहे थे? क्या वो 2 दिन से लोहा मोड़ रहा था? क्या वो गुज़िश्ता हफ्ते से अपनी जिंदगी का आगाज कर रही थी? क्या ये 2 दिन से अंडे तोड़ रहा था? क्या वो शाम ही से पानी का गिलास ला रहे थे? We're gonna make practice once again, first in Urdu then in English. क्या मैं सुबह से जाग रहा था? Had I been awaking since morning? क्या हम आपको 2 दिन से मार रहे थे? Had we been bearing you for 2 days? क्या आप 1960 से दोस्त बन रहे थे? क्या आप 1960 से दोस्त बन रहे थे? Had you been becoming a friend since 1960? क्या वो 2 दिन से लोहा मोड़ रहा था? Had he been planning the iron for 2 days? क्या वो गुज़श्ता हफ्ते से अपनी ज़िंदगी का आगाज़ कर रही थी? Had she been beginning his life since last week? क्या ये 2 दिन से अंडे तोड़ रहा था? Had it been breaking the egg for 2 days? क्या वो शाम ही से पानी का गिलास ला रहे थे? Had they been bringing a water of glass since morning? We're gonna discuss the third kind of sentence in the past perfect continuous tense, that is negative sentences. So in the negative sentence, not is used after the had and in the past perfect tense to make the negative sentences. Negative sentences बनाने के लिए had के बाद past perfect continuous tense में not का इस्तेमाल होता है. Let's have the example. I hadn't been catching you since morning. We hadn't been choosing a good decision for 2 days. You hadn't coming friend. Sorry, you hadn't you hadn't been coming to party since morning. He hadn't been doing work for 3 days. He hadn't drinking water since evening. It hadn't getting well for 3 days. They hadn't forgetting about me since morning. So that now in Urdu, मनफी जुमले मैं आपको सुबह ही से नहीं पकड़ पा रहा था. हम 2 दिन से अच्छे फैसले का इंतखाब नहीं कर रहे थे. आप सुबह से पार्टी में नहीं आ रहे थे. वो 3 दिन से काम नहीं कर रहा था. वो शाम से पानी नहीं पी रही थी. ये 3 दिन से अच्छा खाना नहीं खा रहा था. वो सुबह ही से मेरे बारे में नहीं भूल रहे थे. We're gonna make the practice first in Urdu then in English. मैं आपको सुबह से पकड़ नहीं पा रहा था. I hadn't been catching you since morning. हम 2 दिन से अच्छे फैसले का इंतखाब नहीं कर रहे थे. We hadn't been choosing a good decision for 2 days. आप सुबह से पार्टी में नहीं आ रहे थे. You hadn't been coming to party since morning. वो 3 दिन से कर रहा था. He hadn't been doing work for 3 days. ये 3 दिन से अच्छा खाना नहीं खा रहा. वो शाम ही से पानी नहीं पी रही थी. She hadn't drinking water since evening. ये 3 दिन से अच्छा खाना नहीं खा रहा था. It hadn't eating well for 3 days. वो सुबह ही से मेरे बारे में नहीं भूल रहे थे. They hadn't forgetting about me since morning. Past perfect continuous tense. Here, this is the last sentence of past perfect continuous tense. So that in the interrogative and negative sentences, had is used before the subject and not is used after the subject in the past continuous tense to make the interrogative and negative sentences. Let's have the example here. Had I not been driving since morning? Had we not been falling in love for 2 days? Had you not been forgetting the truth since evening? Had he not been parting with me for 3 days? Had she not been getting well since morning? Had it not been giving reward for 2 days? Had they not been rioting since 1950? सवालिया और मनफी जुमले. क्या मैं सुबह ही से गाड़ी नहीं चला रहा था? क्या हम 2 दिन से मोहब्बत में न पड़ रहे थे? क्या आप शाम ही से नहीं भूल रहे थे? क्या वो 3 दिन से मुझसे नहीं लड़ रहा था? क्या वो सुबह से ठीक नहीं हो रही थी? क्या ये 2 दिन से इनाम नहीं दे रहा था? क्या वो 1950 से नहीं लिख रहे थे? We're gonna make practice here once again, first in Urdu, then in English. क्या मैं सुबह ही से गाड़ी नहीं चला रहा था? Had I not been driving since morning? क्या हम 2 दिन से मोहब्बत में न पड़ रहे थे? Had we not falling in love for 2 days? क्या आप शाम ही से नहीं अ, क्या आप शाम ही से सच नहीं भूल रहे थे? Had you not been forgetting the truth since evening? क्या वो 3 दिन से मुझसे नहीं लड़ रहा था? Had he not been fighting with me for 3 days? क्या वो सुबह ही से ठीक नहीं हो रही थी? Had she not been getting well since morning? क्या वो 2 दिन से इनाम नहीं दे रहा था? Had it not been giving reward for 2 days? क्या वो 1950 से नहीं लिख रहे थे? Had they not been writing since 1950? Thank you very much, students. Please subscribe my channel, share all my videos, as I am going to teach you the grammar, English grammar, and I hope that you have enjoyed this. Thank you very much.